Hey, so I'm back. Woosah. Let's go live here. All right, so I'm back. Let's see if it works better this time. So let's first of all, let's bring back the slide. All right, you have this. Again, I'm going to be sharing a lot of content that is under section 107 because we're going to be commenting about a lot of the contents. So let's go to the screen. Let's see if it worked. Yes! It worked the way it's supposed to work. Okay, I gotta ask Booby why it doesn't work like that under Chrome. Because it's supposed to do Chrome, window, and entire screen. That's what it didn't do. It's supposed to do Chrome tab, window, and entire screen. When you do it on the Firefox, it's only showing you the window or the entire screen. It's supposed to allow you to do the tab. Okay, we here. Okay, now let's show you what this is what I want to share. All right, so I'm going to give people time to come back. Hi, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. I hope everybody come back. I am Mama Flip from Mama Flip Slot Channel. Please join me directly on YouTube at hi Sabrina, how you doing? At Mama Flips Slots. Please join me on YouTube at Mama Flip Slots. It's a lot. A pin comment. Oh, I could pin. I couldn't pin the other day. Please join me directly at YouTube Mama Flip Slots. In fact, let me do this again because I would like to say subscribe. Okay, hold on. Okay, please like, subscribe, and share. If you would like to donate, please send to Flip Slots for casino. Content. Casino slot plays. Content. Okay, I think I said it. Okay. There we go. So we're gonna post. And we're gonna pin this because it didn't allow me to pin it before. It allows me to pin it now. Excellent. See how that works? Thank you, Sabrina. Sabrina CJ6. How are you? Okay, so we are here. Okay, so please pay attention to this disclaimer again because we are going to be sharing a lot of documents. Okay, and before I even did that, there is something else I forgot to do. I have to now share the new. Give me 1 second. Oh, really? What are we doing? Let's escape because we don't want. Perfect. Yes. Now I'm going to share the new one because this one was shut off. Cancel. I have to cancel this. I have to go here. I have to cancel this. Now I have to go here, right? View my channel. Go here. And share. Okay. Okay, we are back. Please join my live discussion on YouTube. Thank you. Like, subscribe, and share. Okay. And post. We back. All right, good. Never use Firefox when you're doing StreamYard. Use Chrome and set it up. All right. So this is what we're doing. So we're gonna move this. So let's start. All right. So P-Diddy got arrested. I had a long conversation about P-Diddy, how I felt in the previous live, in the last 2 lives that I had. So right now we're just gonna go straight to it. If you'd like to see what I said about P Diddy. I will repost the previous two live. The first live I did overnight. The second live I just had to shut down because I used a different browser. It didn't work. So the fact of the matter is, I'm glad that P Diddy is finally about to get arrested. I'm glad that P Diddy got arrested. I'm glad that the survivors and the victims of his abuse is going to seek justice. That's overall. I've always said I've always had bias against P Diddy because I never liked him. I didn't like the way the whole situation happened when he was dating Jennifer Lopez. I also didn't like his arrogance when he was doing his reality TV shows, which I loved reality TV shows. I always thought that he was just a very arrogant person, and one should never talk about people looks because people may not find me attractive. Everybody have their own opinion, but when it came to him, I always felt that he had all these beautiful, amazing looking women, and from what I'm hearing, that he treated them like garbage. And I've always felt like, especially if you're a very unattractive person, you should at least if you have money and you have clout, at least treat your people good to make us understand why they're with you in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So I never liked him, but even when I didn't like him, when I thought he was arrogant, I didn't know anything about Cassie. I didn't know anything about King Porter because I wasn't that invested. I also was a little always was annoyed with the stories about him being arrogant, not taking care of his people. I was a fan originally because I loved his music, especially his songs that was out in and Bad Boys franchise. And also, he had a lot of artists that he worked with, which I actually loved also. So I was a fan with that. That's why when I was watching his reality TV show, I was actually watching it when he did the whole intern thing. I actually watched it, as a fan, and then found out that he was just a complete, I didn't like his attitude. I just don't like arrogant, disrespectful people. And so I didn't know all these years I've had these biases against P Diddy because of the way his persona was, but then he became this father figure businessman and everything like that, and things started changing because people do change, right? And then that's when I started hearing about his sexual exploits and the fact that he was having these freak off. And then after that, even after all of that, I didn't know none of this other stuff because I'm not that vested. I'm living my regular life. I'm not a content creator. I don't watch celebrities like that. Then Cassie came out with her lawsuit, and that's when that really opened my eyes that all the stuff that I felt about him and his arrogance and stuff like that, there is something behind it. And I read her lawsuit, and I felt that what she was saying was true. Let me make sure I share this disclaimer. I felt that everything that she was saying is true. I believed her right away. And even when a lot of people were saying, "Oh, she just for a money grab," I just felt that her statement, her lawsuit, the details, it was too detailed. And it resonated too deeply with me, and I felt that she was telling the truth. And that's when I figured out this man is a jerk. He's really worse than a jerk. He's a sexual predator. And I started doing a lot of investigation. And I have several videos on my YouTube channel about what I found out about P. Diddy and the people that he's associated with. And unfortunately, a lot of people that he's associated with is also people that I've looked up to and I've actually was fans of. And I believe this particular case right now is the first shoe to drop, and a lot of people are going to be brought to the courts because of this shenanigans. That's my opinion. So anyway, so everybody know that he got arrested, but let's just read on it. Let's read what happened. Okay. Oh, and I should check and make sure that you guys could hear me. So I'm going to check my YouTube, make sure YouTube could hear me. Can you hear me?
Hello, hi.
That's up. Okay, hold on. That was the old one. I sound so tired. I'm like, why am I even doing this? I'm so tired. Hold on. Okay, this is the old. Okay, are we really not going to? Give me 1 second. Oh my God. Right now, I saw it. Yeah, he remains detained until his trial. Ooh, whoa. So yes. So apparently he is not getting out. Lord have mercy, Christ. Lord have mercy, Christ. Hey guys. Apparently he is not getting out. They denied bail. Lord have mercy. Oh, people are gonna be pissed. People are gonna be pissed. People are gonna be pissed. Let me make sure that you guys can hear me. Yes. Okay. You guys can hear me on Instagram. This is great. Okay. And I just want to make sure that people can hear me on YouTube. Oh, people's gonna be pissed. Oh, people's gonna be mad. You know how everybody love. All right, can you guys hear me? Oh, people's gonna be pissed. Yes, you guys can hear me on YouTube also. You know how everybody love Diddy. Lord have mercy. It's gonna be a mess. Okay, here we go. Now I can see your comments because I'm not gonna be able to go back and forth. Okay, great. Okay. Make sure that I have my email open for YouTube to make sure that if YouTube have an issue with any of the stuff that I'm sharing, they're gonna send me an email to shut it off. So let me just go here and make sure that YouTube is not sending me a message. Okay, so far we are good with YouTube, right? So far we're good with YouTube. YouTube, you good? I'm good. We're all good. All right, so let's read what's happening. So this is a report that just came out from AP. What to know about Sean Diddy Combs indictment. Let's read it. This is the reporter, Caitlin. She just did an update at 222. She said, Sean Diddy Combs, the disgraced hip-hop mogul, faces federal sex trafficking and racketeering charges in an indictment that was unsealed Tuesday. I'm going to read the indictment in detail, guys. He was arrested Monday in New York after being indicted by a federal grand jury. I knew once they started, they took his phones. What I heard, guys, and I'm gonna go back. I heard in the report that they took his phones, they took his hard drives, they took his computers. They raided his houses. And let me tell you something. I said it on my previous live from overnight. I said it on my lives before. And I said it, and I'm going to say it again. And even when I was talking about Casey, when she did not continue to pursue the lawsuit, pursue going to court that she accepted the money, I respected the fact that she accepted the money because she has a right. But I was a little bit annoyed. So let me stop sharing for a minute and so we could talk about it. I was a little annoyed with Casey. Hi, Sabrina J6. Thank you for joining us on YouTube. Yakima Jackson, thank you for joining us on YouTube. Thank you so much. Everybody from Instagram, please come to YouTube. It just help with our building our channel. Please share, please. If you guys could do me a favor and just click and share this on YouTube. So other people could come in. I really appreciate it. Let me tell you something about what I said. And I'm going to show, if you go to my overnight, you will see that I shared clips of me talking about this since November 21st, 2023, about P-Diddy. And I said that I was a little annoyed, even though I respected her decision of Cassie for her not to pursue it, because I wanted it to be, I wanted us to go to the discovery phase to see exactly everything that he was accused of doing. And I said a lot of people, until he is seen by a juror, until he's found guilty, a lot of people are going to make excuses for him. They'd still make excuses, even for R. Kelly, for Bill Cosby, for all of them, for Jeffrey Weinstein, maybe Epstein, maybe not, but the man quote, but they still make excuses for whoever, anybody, everybody, whether it's black, brown, the community. We make excuses for the people that we love, the people that we admire and stuff like that. And I felt that by her just accepting the money and not going through the case, that she gave him an out. That's how I felt. And I said, because we will never find out what really happened. Even though I believed her, I don't think a lot of people believed her. More people believed her when they saw the video where he beat her up by the elevator. But I felt that we needed to go to court, and I really wanted to do the whole discovery thing to see exactly what he did. Also, what I said is that I was surprised that she didn't continue with the case, because I know that he had evidence. He had mementos. I said souvenir in my last night video. They keep souvenirs. These psycho, sociopath, sexual predators, these serial killers, and I'm not saying he's a serial killer, but they keep souvenirs. It is ingrained in their blood and their psyche. They need to go back and feel, touch, smell, and look at what they did. It is just something ingrained in them. It has to be a really strong mindset. Someone who wants to preserve themselves, that would actually delete something. They don't delete. So I know, I could just imagine what they found. I said it so many times. When you talk about sexual predators, when you talk about serial killers, they keep their mementos. They keep their videos. If they don't keep it, they give it to somebody else to keep. And they are so arrogant, a lot of them, that they think that wherever they hide their stuff, that nobody's going to find it. They honestly believe that. And guess what? For many, many years, nobody did find it. And for another thing that they were talking about with P. Diddy, which I want to read, apparently every time something happened with this, with the freak off, he would send people to clean up, to clean the area. They said something about he had like baby oil that was used. Oh my God. So we got to read the indictment because I'm hearing so much stuff today. But the fact is that I said it, and I said it over, and I'm going to say it again. These predators do not delete anything. They keep it as mementos. So I was very surprised that no one wanted to actually pursue it. Right. So I also said that I felt in the previous live, I felt that because of his arrogance is what got Diddy in this position. I think if he continued to pay, if he paid Cassie when she did the lawsuit, it would have gone away. That's how I felt. I felt the Adult Surviving Act that was established in New York was the tipping point, because the Adult Surviving Act allowed survivors of sexual predator, sexual abuse, to submit a civil lawsuit, even if it's after the statute of limitation. So a lot of these guys, they do all these act and pray and hope that they don't get caught between the statute of limitation and think they're safe. But then you have these different states creating these different bills and stuff like these different laws that allow victims to come back and sue. So I think that was the first thing. Her submitting the lawsuit, him now not keeping her quiet and paying her quietly because he was arrogant because he wanted to pay it. That was the beginning. Also, I believe when that came on, then he lost a lot of his endorsement, Macy's, Revolt. So that means he had less money, and by him having less money, he could not pay to keep people quiet anymore. He couldn't pay his past employees of the blackmailers, the victims and stuff. He couldn't pay it. One of the reporters on Nicole Wallace says that the video that came out apparently came out from the hotel worker who had possession of the video. I thought it was a FOIA request. I thought the mediator requested this, right? And again, there's a lot of stories coming out right now, so please forgive me. This is all breaking news. I thought that the media requested a FOIA request from the FBI or whatever, and then they released the video because of the FOIA request. And I was also surprised because FOIA requests could take up to 5 years, 3 to 5 years. They could delay, give you piecemeals and stuff like that before they submit the whole thing. So I was very surprised. But to find out today, according to report today, that it was the hotel, somebody at the hotel that had a copy of the video, who released it. And I think that the reason why they released it all this time is because they stopped, P. Diddy stopped paying. That's how I believe it. That's how I believe that happened. I think he stopped paying and they got pissed off. I am not in the position, I'm so sorry, to feel that everybody now is coming out now because of their morals and they cannot say, hey, I just really thought after 20 years I should tell the horror that it is done. I don't think that's true. There are people right, Mark Curry, coming out and saying, especially right, who also had previous cases who I believe for mental support and help. Okay, hold on. What's happening? I just saw a flicker. Let me make sure that YouTube is not stopping this. Hold on, guys. I just saw a flicker on my live, so I don't know if it's YouTube stopping. Because YouTube is very funny. Okay, guys, sorry. I'm just checking YouTube to make sure. You have to be very careful with YouTube, because what they'll do is they'll flicker, they'll send you a message and everything like that if something is wrong. And I want to make sure that we do, because I'm going to share. This is why I'm sharing this copyright disclaimer, to show that we're having the discussion. So all the contents I'm going to be creating is not my own, but we're going to be use it in order to have a discussion through the Fair Usage Act, the Fair Use Act. So anyway, you have Jaguar Wright, who I believe is suffer from some mental illnesses and needs to seek help. But she's been saying for a very long time the stuff that Diddy has been doing. And according to what I heard in the media, some of the stuff that she alleged, some of the stuff that Gene Deal alleged is in indictment, is being reported in indictment. So it's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So I've said a lot of stuff about Diddy, I'm sorry, P. Diddy, Sean Combs. I've done at least about 5 lives. They're all public. Please go into YouTube and find it and stuff like that. And I did an all night, even fell asleep, did an all night live yesterday when I came home. And I did a quick one just now, which I had to delete because I used the wrong browser. And now we're here. So let's read. Are you clear now? Thank you, Yakima. Thank you so much for saying that. Because all of a sudden it was acting crazy. But thank you for saying that. All right, so let's read what's going on. Let's read what's happening right now with P. Diddy. Here we go. And again, please look at the disclaimer. All right, so let's start again. Sean Diddy Combs, the disgraced hip-hop mogul, faced federal sex trafficking, racketeering charges in an indictment that was until Tuesday. He was arrested Monday in New York after being indicted by a federal grand jury. I have to pause and say that they said that he was supposed to be arrested today, not yesterday. They arrested him last night, so at a hotel. So I'm not sure what happened last night that they decided to arrest him last night instead of today. I thought that they were, because he was rich and he was filthy rich, that somebody did him a favor and they didn't want to arrest him in the morning where media is going to come in. But there's some indication that something else happened, and Homeland Security felt that they couldn't trust him to arrest him today, so they went after him yesterday. That's my understanding of it. Again, I could be wrong. Everything is happening as we speak. Everything is happening as we speak. And I'm going to have to keep sharing the copyright disclaimer because I don't want to get in trouble by YouTube. So please forgive me and give me 1 second. I need to go get something. I'll be right back. Stay right there. I'm right here, guys. Oh gosh. Ooh. I'm coming right back on the sudden. My stomach is killing me. All right. Give me 1 second, guys. Maya. I love Maya. I've met her in person. She's on Ari's show. Anyway, we're back. So perfect. Okay, so let's go back and we're watching here. This is where we are. So I'm reading this. The arrest indictment come after a month-long sex trafficking investigation and 10 months after the flurry of women came forward with allegations of sexual and other abuse. Prior to the unsealing indictment, Mark Anifilio, Combs attorneys say they knew what the charges would be and that Combs is innocent of these charges. Here is a look at the key details of the 3-count indictment, guys. Ooh, we're going to go back to that. But it says, alleged assault dates back to 2008. The indictment covers explicit detail of Combs allegedly assaulting several women since 2008, guys. He's accused of verbal, emotional, physical, and sexual abuse that he hit, kicked, threw objects, and dragged victims at time by their hair and assaults that took days and weeks to heal. Holy crap. In a large focus of the indictment, investigators say Combs orchestrated sexual encounters between his victims and male sex workers that he called freak-off, defined in the indictment as elaborate produced sex performance that Combs arranged, directed, aimed, doing, and often electronically recorded. First of all, let's stop. First of all, YouTube is gonna have a fit with us reporting this because there's going to be a lot of words that we have to read that YouTube does not like us to read out loud. But this I heard in the media that this indictment is nasty and disgusting and very detailed. So just whoever want to clutch your purse, because we're about to go into this indictment and we're going to read all the nasty, disgusting stuff that this guy is being accused of doing, right? And what did I say about often electronically recorded? I am telling you, and I am telling anybody who wants to listen, because I'm going to say it loud and proud. Everybody who was in this with P. Diddy, you are not going to be sleeping well in the next few months and weeks. He has recordings, electronic recordings. If you were part of his party, y'all better get a lawyer. You better get yourself a lawyer. You understand what I'm saying? Because these people, these sociopaths, these psychopaths, they keep mementos. They keep mementos. He had hard drives, for God's sake. Man, God, have hard drives. Can you imagine what was on the hard drives? I know what's on my hard drives. I have years of hard drives here in my house. In FBI, Secret Service, Homeland Security. You don't need to come and break in my house and look at the hard drives. I have a lot of pictures and photos and videos and stuff that I recorded throughout the years. I have hard drives here, and my stuff is nothing in comparison to what a sexual predator, an evil person has. So anybody who was part of those freak off, if you're a celebrity and you were part of those freak off and he recorded you, you in some ish. You in some ish. They kept they took his phones. So that means they download all his texts, all his emails, everything. For them to, because this is the FBI, for God's sake, this Homeland Security, for them, to bring up a racketeering case, they have evidence. So if it's only Diddy, then he's going to go down on his own. All right? I personally don't think that Diddy could handle being in jail for long, to be honest with you. One of the reasons why I know, because I don't see it in him. Another thing, they talking about how he gave up his mother's house, because I was watching Sean Davy Wade's earlier, and the person that I forgot to mention earlier who actually broke the news to me was a channel called the Official King Payne channel. I came home, and I normally turn on YouTube so the TV could watch me, and I was watching, and I saw that Diddy got arrested. This is why I had to do my live last night. I couldn't wait till this morning, so already this is like my third live, right? And but Sean was also doing the live early this morning. He did it again, and he said that according to his understanding, that P. Diddy gave up his mom's house as well as other property so he could get bail. And they also said that they gave up, all his kids gave up their passport, including the 1-year-old, so they could bail him out. And as of now, the judge denied him bail because they feel that he's going to run. But whoever is in part of this, y'all better start preparing your exit strategy right now, because I'd be very surprised if the electronic videos are only of the ladies and just a sex worker. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't have evidence against the most powerful people in the world in those videos. I'll be shocked. And knowing him, if he probably has it, or he probably has it hidden somewhere, right? Or he think it's safe. So that's what happens, because I don't think that they have the strength to delete them. They need the souvenir, they need the mementos. So I think that in their mind, they have it hidden somewhere, and they think that nobody could find. FBI, I've been following for years, and I can tell you one thing: if half these people that was involved in your shenanigans, if they don't want to go to jail, they are going to backstab him, and they are going to turn him in. They're going to turn in state evidence. They're going to be witnesses. They don't give a damn. They ain't going to jail for nothing like that. He doesn't have money to pay them off anymore. So, guys, for the people who knew Diddy, who's been part of his freak off, this is just the beginning. Anyway, let's continue. This is just the beginning, my friends. Let's continue. It's going to be nasty. So anyway, this is what they said. Okay, now 3 counts indictment. So I'm going to click this AP again, right? Let me see if it let me. Sean Diddy combed jail by judge after sex trafficking. Okay, I don't know what this is. he also had AR-15 in his bedrooms. Oh yeah, I forgot to say that as a gun violence advocate, a gun violence prevention advocate, that didn't sit very pretty with me. So he had AR-16 in his house, two of them in his bedroom. I heard. Oh, I also heard that again. A lot of the Jaguar right Gene Gene stories apparently is true. There was a story that there was said that he actually burned somebody's car, and I think that was Cassie's boyfriend because Cassie talked about that. Apparently, they found proof that that was true, that he did burn the guy car. He threatened people. They said with violence if they talk. It's crazy. So anyway, let's continue. Sean Diddy Combs was headed to jail Tuesday to await trial in his federal sex trafficking case after a magistrate ordered him to be held without bail in the case that accused him of providing over a sordid empire of sexual crime. So yeah, he can't get out. He is not getting out, my people. He is not getting out. They denied him bail. They denied him bail. Hold on. Let me go back in here. What's going on? I don't want to donate. Thank you. Lordy, 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 lordy. He's denied bail. The music mogul pleaded not guilty Tuesday to racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking. He's accused of inducing female victims and male sex workers into drugged up, sometimes days-long sexual performance freak-off. The indictment against him also alleged he coerced and abused women for years while using blackmail, shocking acts of violence to keep his victim in line. It's referred um, it's referred I can't pronounce the word, to an attack on his former girlfriend, the R&B singer Cassie, that was captured on video. Prosecutors wanted him jailed. The attorney proposed that he be released on a $50 million bond to home detention with electronic monitoring. U.S. Magistrate George Ruben Toninsky sided with the government. They won't even let the man be bounded electronically monitored at home. And one of the reasons why, and I know Sean Davy Wade, so check out the Sean Davy Wade channel, especially Sean Davy Wade. He's been talking about Diddy for a very long time. I think he's the one that really got me interested in following the Diddy story. Please go to his channel. He talks a lot about him. He has a lot of videos about Kim Porter. Apparently, he loved Kim Porter. And he wanted to talk about, hi, good morning, Askin Park, how are you? It's actually good evening here for us, but thank you for coming in. So he has a lot of things to say about it, but and that's why I like to give people their credit, their when they talk about stuff, because all this stuff I watch and I'm sharing is not originally from me. I mean, some of the stuff I found, I did a very detailed, and I'm going to share it with you guys, a very detailed expose of the people that's around Diddy that I think that's going to be next that gets caught out there with the BS. Unfortunately, I think Will Smith is one of them. I think Jadakiss is another one. I think if he ever comes back, I think our friend Simmons is one of them. And I don't want to say other big powerful names. I'm just saying. And then they talked about there was one with, oh my God, there's so many of them. There's so many of them that has stories that I talked to and that I connected. And I've done a bunch of little different exposés and stuff like that, through my own research and stuff like that. I also was able to find an article about Diddy that was done by VH1 anonymously, saying that he is somehow connected to the Scientology. And Scientology obviously is known as this huge organization that is considered like a church, but it's a lot of people consider a cult. And there's been a lot of allegation of sexual impropriety and abuse in that organization. And there is an article from anonymous from VH1 that says, I'm not saying that P. Diddy is part of sexuality, but the way he acts is the same. There's so much things out there. Everything is on internet. Everything, people who used to write letters, write stories, write posts, it's all there if you look. So I did several type of interviews, investigatory interviews, and I'm saying the word wrong. So please go back on my channel and check it out. But anyway, we're talking about this right now. So let's share this again. I'm going to be showing a lot of content under the Copyright Disclaimer Act. So let's go back. Let's go back. So they decided not to let him out. So now I want to go and read the actual indictment, guys. And then we could go back to the news report. So I was able to find the indictment. Here it is. Lord have mercy. Let's go through this. And I read when Cassie had her lawsuit, I actually read uh her entire documents. And it broke my heart to read it, but I actually read it. And yeah, I actually read it. And I felt that it was true. Somebody said something. I'm on my way to I'm on my way to YouTube. Oh, Ms. Diva 705. Do you work with YouTube? Ms. Diva 705, you're on your way to YouTube. If you work with YouTube, can you send me a message? Can you send me a message if you actually work at YouTube? I would really appreciate your help. I've been trying to get something done, and I'm looking for somebody who actually work on YouTube. And I think it's a very simple solution, and I've been advocating for something. So yes, I would love if you would be so kind, if you're still here, to please reach out to me, send me a private message, and then I will go back and I will tell you exactly what's going on, and hopefully you could help. So let's see. Again, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. All right. So I'm going to be sharing a bunch of stuff. So I was able to find everybody, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to be reading it, but as you can see, I was able to find the indictment. I downloaded it, and I am going to read it. Okay. I'm going to read it. Can I see the whole thing? Yes. Okay. Because I read Cassie's one lawsuit and it was so heartbreaking. So I want to do this. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of wording and stuff like that I'm not supposed to use. But I'm going to read the indictment, and then after that, I'm going to go and go to the DA. They had a presser, and we're going to listen to what they had to say. But here's the indictment. Okay, United States Court, Southern District of New York, United States versus Sean Combs. And let me tell you something about the Southern District of New York. New York don't play. New York don't play. New York don't play. I would be very surprised if he gets off. And they said in America that you are innocent before proven guilty. New York don't play. New York don't play. New York is also very political. The DA's office, prosecutor office, very, in my opinion, is also political office. So it could make and break careers. So yeah. Sean Combs, Puff Daddy, P-Diddy, Diddy, PD, and now AKA Love. The man had the nerve to change his name to Love. The man had the nerve. It's the pure arrogance of it for me. It's the arrogance for me. It's the arrogance for me. And of course, a lot of people say, oh, people do some rotten things and then they change and they rehabilitate and stuff like that. Yeah. Why don't they say it started in 2008. I heard that it started in 2008. I want to see how far, if he changed the last 10 years, 5 years, 3 years, if he no longer did any of this stuff. That's what I want to see. I want to see if he changed. Because as far as I'm concerned, we just had a couple of more lawsuits that just happened last year. So for him to have the nerve to change his name to Love is the most mind-boggling thing to me. Mind-boggling thing, because Love could mean anything. If he had changed his name to Sex, I would respect it more. Sex. Call me Sex now. I would respect it more than Love, to be honest with you. Anyway, here we go. Here we go. The grand jury charges overview. For decades, Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P Diddy, aka Diddy, aka PD, aka Love. I didn't even know they called him PD, to be honest with you. The defendant abused, threatened, and coerced women, and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires. Lord have mercy. Let me see if I could just make this a little bigger. Can I make this a little bigger? No. Oh, I did. Okay, I don't need it that big. All right, there you go, guys. and others to fulfill his sexual desire, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. To do so, Combs relied on the employees' resources, the influences of a multifaceted business empire that he led and controlled, creating a criminal enterprise whose members and associates engaged in attempt to engage in, among other crimes, sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P Diddy, aka Diddy, aka PD, aka Love. The defendant operated his business headquarters at various times in Manhattan and Los Angeles under a variety of United States-based corporate entity. Yeah, they're not gonna like that. Hopefully, you paid your taxes because they definitely not gonna like that, especially New York, right? Under various United States-based corporate entity, including Bad Boys Enterprise, Comb Enterprise, Comb Global, collectively the Comb Business, Bad Boys Enterprise. All the artists that were under Bad Boys, they're gonna be mad. I'm gonna say it. All the boys under Bad Boys, this man, you better. Oh my gosh, I'm starving. I know I keep stopping myself from saying certain things. I haven't eaten yet. I should eat. I'm starving. I should order some food. All the entertainers on the Bad Boys Enterprise, y'all better get lawyers. Y'all better get lawyers. Get lawyers, get lawyers, get lawyers. Get lawyers, get lawyers, get lawyers. Get lawyers, get lawyers, get lawyers. And plan your exit plan. If anything, if you are part of this, plan your exit plan. Maybe move out of the country. Sorry, I'm being sarcastic. Homeland Security and FBI, but I'm being sarcastic, but I'm telling them what it is. Plan your exit plan, man. Go to a country where you can't be extradited and just say goodbye to everything here. Because this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. You're talking about, I don't know who worked for Comb Enterprise and Comb Global and Comb, I don't know who that. I definitely know the Bad Boys Entertainment. I know who a lot of those people who was part of Diddy back then. I know a lot of people who was back then. He has videos, guys. All the bullshit that you guys did for many, many years, he kept those. He kept those as evidence. That's why they went after his hard drive. That's why they went after his phone. That's why they went to his house. He probably has a trove of evidence, a memento souvenir somewhere. I don't know if they got everything, but they're going to keep picking on everybody until they find what they need to find. So unless he destroyed them, and if you think that a psychopath, sociopath, if they gave you a word that, oh, we don't have copies of stuff, oh, believe me, trust me, and stuff like that, if you believe that's going to save you, sociopath lies all the time. They care about themselves, and they can't get rid of the mementos, the souvenirs. So if you guys are was part of Bad Boys Entertainment, and you were part of these freak offs or any type of entertainment, any type of parties or whatever, I would get a lawyer. I would get a lawyer quick. I would not talk to anybody about it. I would act like I don't know crap, and I would actually, if it's really bad, get an exit plan because they're coming. Because this is just the first shoe to drop. Anyway, so that's Bad Boys. So again, I don't know about Combs Enterprise or Comb Global. I just know Bad Boys. Corporate entity of Combs, and then not everybody. I'm not saying everybody who's part of Bad Boys is part of this. I'm not saying that. I'm just listening to the stories because a lot of these parties, these orgies, everybody think it was like one big party, one big. We've been all consenting adults having sex and having a good time, and some of them was. I can never say it wasn't. But then, why are we here today? Right? In every single party, every single event was consensual adults. Why are we here today? Why is P. Diddy in jail and he can't even get bail after he asked to be home with electronic device, after he tried to give up 50 million, after he tried to give his mother's house and other properties, after he tried to give all his kids passports? Why did the government say no? Why did the government don't trust him to be out on the loose? Why? Because he wants to desert on the United States of America? Maybe. But I think it's because they know, based on his past action, that he could get a lot of these witnesses to shut up or disappear. That's how I think. This is why I think they're keeping him in jail. This is why I think they're keeping him in jail. I don't know. He may be able to renegotiate, but yeah, they're not playing with this one. They're not playing with this one, and I'll be very surprised if he gets off. And I'm being honest with you. I'm 100% honest with you. I'll be very surprised if he get off. To be honest with you. Anyway, and I hope that they have security on him because I do not want him to be Epstein. I do not want him to be Epstein. We need to find out everything that was up with everybody that was involved. We need to have the victims be able to come and tell their story so we know what the hell is going on in our community with our artists and our with hip hop. We need to know. Just like with every single community and society have come to face their bad actors. That is our time in hip hop. And I'm not even a hip hop head, but I'm born in the 60s, so I went through all the eras. So we need to know what the hell everybody been up to. I believe that very strongly. And I believe the victims have a right to tell their story and to get justice. Okay, let's continue. Entities in calm business include, among other things. Oh, hold on a second. Let me stop real quick and share this disclaimer again. Guys, everything I'm using is based on copyright disclaimer under Section 107 Copyright Act 1976. And just to have a discussion about what's happening with P-Diddy and have a discussion. And here we go. Among other things, record labels, a recording studio, apparel line, an alcohol spirit business, a marketing agency in the television network, and a media company. And a lot of people who worked with Diddy all get your lawyers ready. All other times relevant in this indictment. Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P Diddy, aka Diddy, aka PD, aka Love, the defendant engaged in persistent and perversive pattern of abuse towards women and other individuals. This abuse was at times verbal, emotional, physical, and sexual. As part of his pattern of abuse, Combs manipulated women to participate in highly orchestrated performances of sexual activity with male commercial sex workers. Okay, so he used sex workers, they're saying. Okay. At times, Combs and others acting his direction made arrangements for women and commercial sex workers to fly to Combs' location. Combs ensured participation from the women by, among other things, obtaining and distributing narcotics to them, controlling their careers, leveraging his financial support, and threatening to cut off the same and use intimidation and violence. 4. Physical abuse by Sean Combs, a.k.a. Puff Daddy, a.k.a. P. Diddy, a.k.a. Diddy, a.k.a. PD, a.k.a. Love. The defendant was recurrent and widely known. Yeah, recurrent and widely known. On numerous occasions from at least and or about 2009 and continuing for years. Let's read it again. On numerous occasions from at least and or about 2009 and continuing for years, Combs assaulted women by, among other things, striking, punching, dragging, throwing objects at, and kicking them. These assaults were at times witnessed by others, including one incident in a Los Angeles hotel in or about March 2016, which was captured on video and later publicly reported, where Combs kicked, dragged, and threw a vase at a woman as she was attempting to leave. When a member of the hotel security staff intervened, Combs attempted to bribe the staff member to ensure silence. Combs' violence was also not limited to these women. It extended to his employees, witnesses to his abuse, and others. 5. Sean Combs, a.k.a. Puff Daddy, a.k.a. P. Diddy, a.k.a. Diddy, a.k.a. PD, a.k.a. Love. The defendant was the Combs business, the defendant used the Combs business, including certain employees, to carry out, facilitate, and cover up his abuse and commercial sex. Those employees included security staff, household staff, personal assistants, high-ranking supervisor, and other close associated acted as Combs' intermediaries, and their conduct was facilitated and assisted by Combs' control of Combs' business. All right. So far, I have not seen any references to other artists and stuff like that. But there's a lot of people involved. If you talk about assistants and assistant and housekeepers and all that stuff like that, Lord, these people get lawyers, get lawyers, get lawyers, guys. That's all I could tell you. Don't talk to nobody. Just get a lawyer. The Comb Enterprise, from at least in and about 2008 through on and about the date of the filing of this indictment. From 2008 to current, guys. From 2008 to current. Okay? Sean Combs, a.k.a. Puff Daddy, a.k.a. P-Diddy, a.k.a. Diddy, a.k.a. P.D., a.k.a. Love. The defendant and other known and unknown were members and associates of a criminal organization. You see where it says known and unknown? That unknown should scare everybody who's been part of Diddy life. This unknown stuff is scary. Don't ever have anybody write their file and say unknown. That means there's a lot of people they're looking for. That means that the investigation continued and they're going to hunt down every single body. Lord have mercy. The Comb Enterprise or the Enterprise. Members and associate of the Comb Enterprise engage in. Also the word associates. Associates could be anybody. Associates could be artists. Associate could be people that he hang out with. Associates could be it's horrible. Members associate of the Comb Enterprise engage in an attempt to engage in, among other activities, sex trafficking, forced labor, interstate transportation for purposes of prostitution, coercion and enticement to engage in prostitution, narcotic offenses, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. 7. The Comb Enterprise, including its leadership, its members, and its associates, constituted an enterprise as defined by Title 18 United States Code, Section 1961, 4, that is a group of individuals associated in fact, although not a legal entity. The Comb Enterprise consisted of Sean Combs, a.k.a. P-Diddy, a.k.a. Puff Daddy, a.k.a. Puff Daddy, a.k.a. P. Diddy, a.k.a. Diddy, a.k.a. P.D., a.k.a. Love. The defendant entities within the Comb Enterprise are included but not limited to Bad Boys Enterprise, Comb Enterprise, Comb Global, individual employed by and associated with Comb businesses, and other known and unknown. It's that unknown, guys. It's the unknown that should have people like sweating. It's an unknown that should have all these high level, high paying, high paid record executive entertainers and extra and all the others in alarm, and even probably some politicians. The Comb Enterprise constituent. I'm sorry, I'm horrible with reading and pronunciation. I'm sorry. An ongoing organization whose members function as a continuing unit for the common purpose of achieving the objectives of the Comb Enterprise. The Comb Enterprise was engaged in and its activity affected interstate and foreign commerce. The Comb Enterprise operated in the southern eastern of New York and elsewhere. At all times relevant to this indictment, Sean Combs, a.k.a. Puff Daddy, a.k.a. P. Diddy, a.k.a. Diddy, a.k.a. P.D., a.k.a. Love, the defendant was the leader of the Comb Enterprise. 10. Sean Combs, a.k.a. Puff. I know, why am I keep reading it? I'm just reading it. I could probably skip all his name, but I just want to continue reading. Sean Combs, a.k.a. Puff Daddy, a.k.a. P. Diddy, a.k.a. Diddy, a.k.a. P.D., a.k.a. Love, the defendant, and others known and unknown participated in unlawful and other activity related to the conduct of Comb Enterprise affairs. I don't know why they're being repetitive there. These individuals include certain Comb business employees, such as members of Comb security staff, household staff, personal assistant, high-ranking supervisors, as well as other close associate of Combs. This is the close associates, guys. Purpose of Comb Enterprise. The purpose of the Comb Enterprise include the following: operating a global business in the media entertainment. You see entertainment, right? You see, okay. And lifestyle industries, including, among other things, what I said. record labels, a recording studio, an apparel line, an alcohol spirit business, a marketing agency, a television network, and media company. All those people needs to be getting their lawyers, or everybody who worked in any of those entities. Preserving, protecting, promoting, and enhancing the power, reputation, and brand of Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P. Diddy, aka Diddy, aka PD, aka Love the Dependent, as a musician, enterprise, and a figure in the entertainment industry. C. Enriching members and associates of the enterprise, including its leaders, Combs, and particular those who demonstrated loyalty to Combs and willingness to conceal his crimes. Anybody who knew what happened all these years, they're gonna want to talk to y'all for concealing his crimes. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of people who's going to want to be a witness and who wants to actually get what is it called when you testify against somebody? When you testify against somebody and you get a plea deal, there's going to be a lot of those people there that's going to ask for a plea deal and they're going to testify. Immunity, that's what I'm looking for. A lot of these people are going to look for immunity, guys. A lot of them, if they haven't done so already. All right, so the people that's willing to conceal his crime, preserving, protecting, promoting, and enhancing the power of Combs Enterprise, including the power of its leader Combs, through violence, use of firearms, threats of violence, coercion, and verbal, emotional, and physical and sexual abuse. Fulfilling the personal desire Combs, particularly those related to Combs' sexual gratification, including those including through the exploitation of women and the use of commercial sex workers. So the fact that they keep saying the use of commercial sex workers, I would like to think I would like to think that they're saying it's only the women and the commercial sex workers that they are actually concentrating on. They're not concentrating on the participants, because there were other bigger parties, whereas other entertainers, from what I'm hearing, I don't know, I wasn't there, they participated. So I'm thinking that right now this is really just concentrating on those women and those sex workers and everybody who tried to cover up, not to the bigger community of all of these orgies and sex parties, because I'm guessing they're thinking, or they're saying these type of events are consensual, so they may not go there. That's just my thought. I could be wrong. Enabling Combs and other members and associates of the Combs Enterprise to engage in unlawful acts of violence, including sexual violence, Okay, well, forget about what I just said before. It looked like they're going to be looking for other people that was part of these acts that they believe that is not only the women in the commercial sexual, because right here, and forget what I just said before. Let's do F again. Enabling Combs and other members associated of the Combs Enterprise to engage in unlawful acts of violence, including sexual violence, sex trafficking, forced labor, interstate transportation for purpose of prostitution, coercion, and enticement to engage in prostitution, narcotic distribution, and other crimes, and considering the commission of such act. This to me reads to me that anybody that was engaging with these parties, these events, is going to be looked at. So it's not just the women with the commercial sex workers. It's anybody that he actually sent to whatever location they're at, whatever orgy he had, whatever white party he had. If he sent any of these women over to anybody that's his people, that he's associates, his friends that he worked with, I think they all could be caught up in this. That's just my opinion. And my whole thing is the sex violence. If they said, okay, narcotic, if they said prostitution only, I would say, okay, that's, because a lot of these guys like to say, oh, I don't pay for sex. I don't do prostitution. All the stuff I get for free, right? A lot of these guys, a lot of entertainers, because, in a lot of ways they're right, because a lot of people love them. A lot of women love them. So they will, they will, for their reasons, they would have sex with these entertainers, etc., etc. But it's talking about the fact that some of these associates that was part of the unlawful acts of violence, including sexual violence and sex trafficking, forced labor. It looks and sounds like to me that anybody that was part of any type of, whether it was anything that had to do with Combs, whether it has to do with sex, whether he sent people to them or not, or they were part of a freak off, they could be liable. This is how it reads to me. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Securing absolute loyalty from members of the Combs enterprise, including through acts of violence and threats, and protecting the Combs enterprise and its members and associates, including Combs, from detection and prosecution by law enforcement authorities through acts of intimidation, manipulation, bribery, threat of retaliation against individuals who witness crimes committed by members and associates of the enterprise. And then, of course, you heard about Dawn from the former artist under P. Diddy and former Danny Kane. She came out to say that she witnessed a lot of the acts that P. Diddy has done. I didn't even do a live on it because I was like, yeah, it was just another person talking about it, coming out at this late date to say they witnessed it after you've been there for years. So I really didn't pay any attention to it. But the fact that they brought it up in indictment is just these little chips in his wall that started happening that allowed all of this thing to come to fruition. I really don't think. I think that if it wasn't for the Adult Survivor Act, and if it wasn't for Cassie doing that lawsuit, and if it wasn't for his arrogance, he should have made that lawsuit go away. If it wasn't for that, it wouldn't have opened up this big can of kick ass, to be honest with you. Everybody would have continued to defend him forever and a day, because he would have had the money to pay off for them for their loyalty. And there's other people who may be loyal just because, like his family, may be loyalty just because they love him, but a lot of these other people are doing it for money. Okay, here we go. Means and method of the enterprise. Okay, let me stop. Again, I'm going to share this. Sorry, I have to keep sharing this. So I'm going to continue to share items, and I'm proclaiming copyright disclaimer under Section 107. Okay. So share the screen, and let me just check again. Make sure YouTube did not send me an email saying that I'm using. No, they did not. Okay, great. Okay. Let's continue. Among the means and methods by which Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P. Diddy, aka Diddy, aka PD, and aka Love. Hold on 1 second, guys. Anything else is happening now? The defendant and other members and associate of Combs Enterprise conducted and participated in the conduct of affairs of the Combs Enterprise, including the following. Combs and others, let's go back, method and means of enterprise. Combs and other members associated of the Combs Enterprise wield the power and prestige of Combs' role at the Combs business to intimidate, threaten, a lot of this thing is repetitive, and lure female victims to Combs' orbit, often under the pretense of a romantic relationship. You're going to be looking at all the former girlfriends. Combs then used force, threat, or force, coercion, because we already know about Cassie, but they're going to be talking to the baby moms and the other girlfriends and the people. Yeah, they're going to be doing that. Combs then used force, threat of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in an extended sex act with male commercial sex workers that Combs refers to as among other things, freak off. Freak offs were elaborate and produced sex performances that Combs arranged, directed, doing, and often electronically recorded. In arranging these freak off, Combs, with the assistance of members and associates of the Combs Enterprise, transported and caused to be transported commercial sex workers across state lines and internationally. Now you see how they say Combs Enterprise. They didn't say Bad Boys. They say Combs Enterprise here. So maybe that was, that means something. That means that they're not including the actors and stuff. Every paragraph made me think, change my mind as far as they including the celebrities that associates with Combs and with his friends that that participated in his parties. And I'm not saying, again, I'm not saying all the white parties, the birthday parties was a big sex orgy. That's not what I'm saying. I'm hearing a freak off sometime happened after the party, because there was a story about the fact that Cassie was at a party with Diddy, and he wanted her to leave the party. I think it was her birthday party and stuff like that, too, because she wanted to do a freak off at the same hotel or something. Like she said no, he beat her down so bad in the bathroom that the security guard had to come and get her. So yeah, so sometimes the party leads to the freak off also. So I'm just saying that's one of the stories that I heard. But I'm not saying that all his parties was freak off. At least that's not what I'm reading yet. But every once in a while, depending on the word, I'm like, yeah, they're gonna bring in the associates, the entertainers, the political people that hang out. And then I'm like, no, they're gonna only concentrate on P. Diddy and the women. But every time I read a different paragraph, I change my mind. But we're gonna know as the time goes by what they're concentrating on. Freak off occurred regularly, sometimes lasted multiple days, and often involved multiple commercial sex workers. Okay. During freak off, Combs distributed a variety of controlled substances to victims, in part to keep the victims obedient and compliant. Sometimes unbeknownst to the victims, Combs kept videos he films of victim engaging in sex act with commercial sex workers. After freak off, Combs and the victims typically received IV fluid to recover from the physical exertion and drug use. B. Members and associates of Combs Enterprise, including high-ranking supervisors, security staff, household staff, personal assistant, and other Combs business employees, facilitated the freak off by, among other things, booking hotel rooms for the freak off, stocking the hotel room in advance with the required freak off supplies, including controlled substances, baby oil, lubricant, extra linen, and lighting. I was like lighting. Cleaning the hotel room after the freak off to try to mitigate roof damage, arranging for travel for victims, commercial sex workers, and Combs to and from freak off, resupplying Combs with requested supplies, delivering large sum of cash to Combs to pay the commercial sex workers, and scheduling the delivery of IV fluid. In or about March 2024, doing searches of Combs residents in the Miami, Florida, and Los Angeles, California, law enforcement seized various freak-off supplies, including narcotic and more than 1,000 baby oils and lubricant. 1,000 bottles of baby oil. That's a lot of baby oil. He's still doing it now. So it's not as if people could say that, oh, he stopped and he's just a father and a loving human being. He still have these supplies now. Okay. Combs subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse to cause the victim to engage in freak off. Combs maintained control over his victim through, among other things, physical violence, promise of career opportunities, granting and threatening to withhold financial support, and other cohesive means, including tracking their whereabouts, dictating the victim appearance, monitoring their medical records. Oh, the doctors are in trouble. The doctors and nurses are in trouble. It's going to be big. Guys, it's going to be big. Controlling their housing and supplying them with controlled substance. Doing and separate from freak off, Combs, among other things, hit, king, threw object at, and dragged victims at times by their hair. These assaults often resulted in injuries that took days or weeks to heal. Combs also threatened victims' careers and livelihood, including if they resisted participating in freak off. Victims believed they could not refuse Combs' demand without risking their financial or job security, or without repercussion in the form of physical or emotional abuse. Combs also used the sensitive, embarrassing also used the sensitive, embarrassing, and incriminating recording that he made during freak off as collateral to ensure the continued obedience and silence of his victim. They have those videos, guys. I hope they don't show it because the federal case don't have films anyway, don't have movies anyway. I mean, don't have cameras anyway. So members in the Associated Combs Enterprise, including Combs security personnel, at times carry firearms. On more than one occasion, Combs himself carried and brandished firearms to intimidate and threaten others, including victims of and witnesses to his abuse. In and about March 2024, searches of Combs residents in Miami, Florida, Los Angeles, California, law enforcement seized firearm and ammunition, including 3 AR-15 with defaced serial numbers as well as drum magazines. So you tell me, why does he need a defaced serial number gun? Boy, if they associate any of these guns with any of these killings, boy, I'm not saying they have it, they will, but boy, a defaced serial numbers. As far well as a drum magazine. A drum magazine is one of those huge magazines that has multiple bullets, carry multiple bullets. Why would he need that? Members and associates of Combs Enterprise enabled Combs' control over victims by following his direction regarding financial payments to victims, advancing or suppressing the victim career opportunities, acquiring the controlled substance Combs used to keep the victim compliant. Members of the Associate of Combs Enterprise at the time witnessed violence towards the victims or the victims' injuries caused by Combs without intervening. Instead, members of associates of Combs Enterprise helped conceal the violence and abuse by, among other things, assisting Combs in monitoring and preventing victims from leaving locations such as hotels or Combs residence. That's kidnapping, guys. Everybody that was involved in that was kidnapping. Get your lawyers. These occasions include incidents in which the victim was required to maintain in hiding, sometimes for several days at a time, to recover from injuries Combs inflicted without being publicly observed. Members and associates of the Combs Enterprise also assisted Combs in locating and contacting victims who attempts to flee his abuse. When employees witnessed to his abuse and other threatened Combs' authority or reputation, Combs and members and associates of the enterprise engaged in acts of violence, threat of financial and reputational harm, and verbal abuse. These acts of violence include kidnapping and arson. In addition, on multiple occasions, Combs threw both objects and people, as well as hit, drag, choke, and shove others. When Combs' authority or reputation was threatened by the possibility of negative publicity or legal or law enforcement action against them, included in or about late 2023, following public allegation of Combs' crime, Combs and his members and association of the enterprise pressured witnesses and victims, including through attempted bribery, to stay silent and not report what they experienced or knew to law enforcement. On phone calls, they had him bugged. They either had this fool bugged or people recorded this fool. On phone calls, Combs and other members associated from the enterprise, among other things, provided these victims and witnesses with a false narrative of events in an effort to conceal Combs' crimes. Combs caused these calls to be recorded on at least 2 occasions. So please don't tell me that they found the recording because he recorded himself in these conversations. Please don't tell me that they found the recording because he recorded himself in these conversations. What I told you about these social back. Racketeering conspiracy. Again, guys, I am using the copyright disclaimer under Section 107 Copyright Act to actually use documentation that is not produced by myself. and for fair uses for the purpose of reporting, news reporting, and commenting. Let's go back. The racketeering conspiracy from at least and or about 2008 through on and about the date of the filing of this indictment. That means it's still going on, guys. In the South District of New York and elsewhere, Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P. Diddy, aka Diddy, aka PD, aka Love, the defendant and the other known and unknown being person employed by and associated with the Combs enterprise described in paragraph 6 through 12 of this indictment, an enterprise engaged in the activities of which affected interstate and foreign commerce knowingly combined, conspired, confiscated, and agreed together and with each other to violate the racketeering law of the United States, to wit, Title 18 United States Code, Section 1962C, that is to conduct and participate directly and indirectly in the conduct of the affairs of the Comb enterprise through a pattern of racketeering activities as the term as defined in Title 18 United States Code, Section 1961, 1, parenthesis, in between parenthesis 1, and 1961, parenthesis 5, consistent of multiple acts involving kidnapping, chargeable under the following provision of state law: California Penal Code 2007, kidnapping; California Penal Code 21A, 664, attempt; California Penal Code 31, aiding and abetting; California Penalty Code 182, conspiring; multiple acts including arson, chargeable under the following provision of state law: California Penal Code 451, arson; California Penal Code 21A, 664, attempt; California Penal Code 31, aiding and abetting; California Penal Code 182, I'm sorry, I keep saying 19, conspiracy; multiple act involving bribery, chargeable under the following provision of state law: California Penal Code 137A, bribery of a witness; California Penal Code 21A, 664, attempt; California Penal Code 31, aiding and abetting; California Penal Code 182, conspiracy; multiple act indicated under Title 18 United States Code, Section 1512, relating to tampering with a witness, victim, or informant. Yeah, that's not good. They're not going to like that. Oh, they definitely not going to like that. That's why he's not getting out of jail. That's what right here is why he's not multiple acts. That's why he's not getting out of jail, because they got him on tampering with a witness, victim, or informant. That's not good. None of this is good, but this one is going to keep his behind in jail for a while. Multiple act in the indictable under Title 18 United States Code, Section 1589, and 2 related to forced labor. Multiple acts indictable under Title 18 United States Code, Section 1591, and 2 related to sex trafficking. Multiple act indicated, indictable. I keep saying indicated. I apologize if I kept on saying indicated throughout. It is multiple act indictable. I'm horrible pronunciation. I apologize. Under Title 18 United States Code, Section 2421, 2422, and 2, relating to transportation and inducement to travel for purpose of prostitution and other illegal sexual activity; and H, multiple offenses involving the possession with intent to distribute and to distribute or distribution of narcotic, controlled substance, including cocaine, oxydone, alprazolam, sorry, I can't pronounce, 3, 4, okay, methamphetamine, I'm sorry, promo, I'm not even going to read the rest of them. You guys read it, because I'm the ketamine, I can read that, in violation of Title 21, United States Code, Section 841A, 1, B, 1C, B, 1E, B2, 846, distributed in possession with intent to distribute, and conspiracy to do the same. Title 18 United States Code, Section 2, aiding, abetting, and willfully causing. It was it was a part of the conspiracy that Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P Diddy, aka Diddy, aka P Diddy, aka Love. The defendant agrees that conspirator would commit at least 2 acts of racketeering activity in the conduct of the affairs of Combs Enterprise. My God. Notice of special sentencing factor. From at least in or about 2009 up to and including in about 2018. That's 10 years. In the Southern District of New York and elsewhere, a part of his agreement to conduct and participate in the conduct of affairs of Combs Enterprise through a pattern of racketeering activity. Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P Diddy, aka Diddy, aka PD, aka Love. The defendant agreed to end and affecting interstate and foreign commerce knowingly recruit, entice, harbor, transport, provide, obtain, advertise, maintain, patronize, and solicit by any means a person knowing and in reckless disregard of the fact that means of force, threat of force, fraud, and coercion as described in Title 18 United States Code, Section 1591E2, and any combination of such means would be used to cause the person to engage in a commercial sex act in violation to Title 18 United States Code, Section 1591A, 1 and B and 1. Title 18 United States Code, Section 1962D. That was just count 1. Oh my God. Let's move out. Let's recount 2. It's a lot. Sex trafficking by force, fraud, and coercion, victim 1. Okay, so this is talking about victim 1. All right, so let me stop this again and just share. I'm just reading, guys. I'm just reading. And I know my pronunciation is horrible. I so apologize, but I'm just reading. Here we go. So let's continue. Let's read count 2. The grand jury further charges from at least in or about 2009 up to and included in and about 2018 in the Southern District of New York and elsewhere. Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P Diddy, aka Diddy, aka PD, aka Love, the defendant and an affected interstate and foreign commerce knowingly recruited, enticed, harbored, transported, provided, obtained, advertised, maintained, patronized, and solicited by any means a person knowing and in a reckless disregard of the fact that means of force, threat, or force, fraud, coercion, as described in Title 18 United States Code, Section 1591E2, and any combination of such means would be used to cause the person to engage in a commercial sex act and attempted, aided, and abetted, willfully caused the same to wit, Combs recruited, enticed, harbored, transported, and maintained a person, victim 1, and attendant, aided, abetted, and willfully caused victim 1 to engage in commercial sex act, knowing and reckless disregard to the fact that victim 1 was engaged in a commercial sex act as a result of force, fraud, and coercion. That's Title 18 United States Code, Section 1591A1, B1, and 1594A and 2. Count 3, transportation to engage in prostitution. The grand jury further charged, this is bullet 17, from at least in about 2019 up to and including in or about 2024. So they saying that he still was doing it. They're saying that he was still doing it, guys. He didn't stop. In the Southern District of New York and elsewhere, Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P Diddy, aka Diddy, aka PD, aka Love, the defendant knowingly transported an individual in interstate and foreign commerce with the intent that the individual engaged in prostitution and attempted, aided, and abetting, willfully caused the same to wit, Combs transported, aided, and abetted, and willfully caused the transportation of female victims, commercial sex workers in interstate and foreign commerce on multiple occasions with the intent that they engage in prostitution. Title 18 United States Code, Section 2421A and 2. Forfeited allegation. As a result of committing the offense alleged in Court 1 of this indictment, Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P Diddy, aka Diddy, aka PD, aka Love, the defendant shall forfeit to the United States pursuant to Title 18 United States Service Section United States Code, Section 1963, any and all interest the defendant acquire or maintain in violation of Title 18, United States Code Section 1962, any and all interests and securities of, claim against, property or contractual right of any kind affording a source of influence over the enterprise name and described here and within the defendant establishment, established, not establishment, defendant established, operated, controlled, conducted, and participated in the conduct of in violation of Title 18, United States Code, Section 1962, and any and all properties constituent and derived from proceeds obtained directly and indirectly, said offense included but not limited to a sum of money in the United States currency representing the amount of proceed traceable to the commencement commission of such offense. They're going after his money, but I think they're also asking for any property that he has. So they're gonna go after everything. And as a result of committing the offense alleged in count 2 of this indictment, Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P Diddy, aka Diddy, aka PD, aka Love, the defendant shall forfeit to the United States pursuant to Title 18 United States Code, Section 1594, any and all property, real and personal, involved in, used, and intended to be used to commit or to facilitate the commission of said offenses, and any and all property traceable to such property, and any and all property, real and personal, constituted or derived from proceeds obtained directly and indirectly as a result of said offense, including but not limited to a sum of money in the United States currency representing the amount of property involved in said offense, proceed tractable to the commission of said offense. They might just what they call when they lock up their account so you can't get access to any of the money. I think that's what it's saying right here. They taking everything. They taking everything. If he was smart, then he would have signed over his business and everything to all his children, so they couldn't take too much. If he was smart, but I don't know if the government could actually, if you did it in order to hide a crime, if they could still lock everything down. As a result of committing offenses alleged in count 2 of this indication, it's the same thing. He needs to forfeit the United States title, real estate. It's the same thing I've read, but they just said it for all 3 counts. Substitute access. If any of the above described forfeitable property as a result of any act or omission of the defendant cannot be located among the exercise of due diligence, has been. I just finished saying that. I just finished saying it. I said I don't know if they could go back and get the stuff, any item, any money, or any property if he transferred it to somebody else. If any of the above described for affordable property as a result of any act or omission of the defendant cannot be located upon the exercise of due diligence, has been transferred or sold to or deposited with a third party, has been placed beyond the jurisdiction of the court, has been substantially diminished value, or has been commingled with other property which cannot be subdivision without difficulty. It is the intent of the United States pursuant to Title 18 United States Code Section 1963 M, Title 21 United States Code Section 853P, Title 28 United States Code Section 2461C to seek forfeiture of any other property of the defendant up to the value of the above affordable never mind, I'm just tired, property. And it goes into all the different titles, and it's signed by Damian Williams, United States Attorney. And that was the end. Oh, that was suffering. Oh, I suffered to go through to do all that for y'all. I suffered to redo all that for y'all. This reading thing is horrible. Oh my gosh. Oh. So guys, that's the indictment. My question would be, if all the entertainers from Bad Boys and all the media are now is not really being looked at, because when I read the indictment towards the end, they're only looking at the women and the sex workers. But my thing is, sorry for yawning, if he is transferring sex workers and women and they are being considered prostitutes, if he's prostituting them, they can only be prostituted if he's sending them to other people. And if that's the case, then they may be involved. I don't know. Now, I wanted to see the press conference. Let me see if we have anything of the press conference. I'm telling you, he should have just paid her off. Can you imagine all the videos that he kept? They're such perverts. All right, so now we're gonna start playing some of the videos again. We're going to be showing you, I'm going to be showing you some of the reports that came out on this. Such pigs. All right, here we go. Let's listen in. Sorry.
Bail.
There we go.
Instead, he's going straight to jail tonight after Diddy pleaded not guilty to charges of sex trafficking and racketeering. Want to show you some of these brand new court sketches coming into us, like literally in the last 90 seconds. This is Combs in court after prosecutors arrested him at a hotel in Manhattan. It's where he's apparently been living for weeks, according to what a person familiar with the move tells NBC News. All of it.
Look at this man's face. Look at this man's face. Oh, God. Yeah. Even the artists couldn't make him just look any differently than what he looked like. Let's go. And again, people should not be talking about other people's looks, because just because you think you look attractive doesn't mean that everybody thinks you look attractive. People could be looking at me and saying, oh, she's unattractive too. Again, my disdain for him is not so much that he's unattractive, because I've met the most unattractive people that are the kindest, most heartwarming, and they beauty glow through them to their appearance, to their face. I've always felt that he was unattractive inside and out. And if you are an unattractive person and you are ugly on the inside, it makes me even more angrier, because as an unattractive person, you should be a good person so people could see the beauty inside of you that could shine outside. And the picture just showed his face. It just makes me I'm so angry. There you go.
A tipping point now in that sprawling federal investigation into the superstar's alleged years of sex crimes dating back to 2009. As we're just getting in some new and deeply disturbing details about the allegations against him and what looks like a massive criminal operation, allegedly. At least 50 victims and witnesses so far. And at the center of it,
holy shit! Holy shit, I forgot to say that. I forgot. 50 victims? 50 victims and witnesses? Lord, he going to jail? That's crazy. You've been paying 50 people for all these years, and now they all coming. Oh, here we go.
These hours and days-long sex acts known as, in their words, freak-offs that Combs supposedly orchestrated to abuse his victims.
Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them.
Prosecutors say Combs...
Oh, Lord, they have recordings. Oh, they have receipts. I want to show this again, and I'm using everything based on the copyright under Section 104 of Copyright Act 1976 in order to have a discussion about these worldwide newsworthy reports. So let's continue. Lord have mercy, they have receipts. This mofo, man, couldn't have deleted this shit. Oh, he's just so arrogant.
Punched and kicked his victims to try to keep them under control. He'd also, they say, filled them up with drugs like ketamine and ecstasy for long periods of times, even using incriminating records to try to manipulate his victims. Prosecutors say they discovered this wide range of evidence against Combs in several raids. They found things, they say, like AR-15s, narcotics, more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricants. We should note here that an attorney for Combs says that he, I'm quoting here, will fight this with all of his energy. His team is already planning to appeal the bail ruling, meaning they will be back in court tomorrow, as Combs has, as we mentioned, pleaded not guilty. We've got team coverage, Laura Jarrett, standing by with the legal analysis piece of it. But I want to start outside court with Julia Ainsley, because Julia...
Ooh, he's going to be in court tomorrow. I may just be out there. 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 Yep. Yep. I may just be out there. Yep. Yep. Let me just order some food because I'm starving. Hold on 1 second, because I'm over here doing this. I may just be, yep. I may just take my ratchet ass right out there so I can see what they're doing. Let me stop this for a second. I'm going to order some food, guys. Give me 1 second. I'm starving. I'm going to show my ratchet behind right there. And guys, oh my God. Oh, I meant to say, I've been doing, I would like to ask, if at all possible, if you guys would be so kind to like, subscribe to my channel. But not only that, if you guys have anything that you can share, right? Because I would love for Grandma Flip and I to go to the casino this weekend. It's an off-pay week. And again, when we play casinos, we don't use bill money. We use our extra money, at least until we start getting monetized on YouTube. So far, we have not been monetized on YouTube. So everything we're doing, let me just check and make sure YouTube don't have an issue with me. Well, I keep losing people. I'm sorry to people that are leaving. They don't like what I have to say, but hey, it is what it is. You know, I lost like 2 people today. Apologies. Thank you for being part of our channel. Please come back when I stop talking about stuff like this. But anyway, if you guys can be so kind, because we are not monetized, to donate. And as I said before, and I'll say it again, if you donate, then I will shout you out on our next live, right? I will shout you out in our next live. And if we win with your donation, what I would do is I would make a contribution to one of our viewers. We're still again figuring it out, but if you would like to donate, I will shout you out and thank you. We have Cash App, and it's Mama Flip Slot Channel. Mama's MAM. Oh, just look at the name right there. Mama Flip Slots. Okay. Is it slot or slots? Hold on a second. Let me make sure I'm saying the right thing, because you know. Oh, it's an S. Let me fix this. Hold on. How do I fix the name? Edit. Let me go to settings. Give me 1 second. General. Yeah, that's been disabled. Camera layout. I'll have guests here. I have to edit this. Oh, I actually didn't even do this. I should have done this. Hold on, guys. Okay. I think I probably did that on my way in, so I cannot edit this. Hold on. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, I can. Hold on. Can I? No, I can't. I can't. Yeah, I can't. So anyway, it has an S. Mama Flip Slots have an S in it. So anyway, yes, if you guys would be so kind, it would be great if you could donate to our channel. But not only donate, please like, subscribe, and share. Please like, subscribe, and share. Okay? So, guys, so let me just tell you guys. I'm about to finish soon, but I was ordering food. I knew I was doing something before I said this. Let me order some. I'm starving. Let me just order dinner real quick. Hello. Here it is. Let me order real quick because I'm so hungry. It's just, my God, guys. My God, if you think about, hold on. Find out. Do I have anything in the refrigerator? Oh, yes, I do. Hold on. Why am I ordering? Yes, I have food in the refrigerator. Oh, thank God I stopped myself. Yes. I don't have to order. I just have to warm up the food. I just remember I have food in the refrigerator. I keep ordering stuff, and I just remembered. Good, because I've been looking forward to that food anyway, Shui. Okay, so I'm going to finish this soon. So let's go back. I'm going to finish this soon. I just was starving. Oh, my gosh. And let's continue and see what they said. I'm so sorry. Here we go. Let's go.
This went fairly late into the day. I know you've been at the courthouse as a judge, as we've just learned, is denying this request for bail. Explain why that is and what else we've learned today.
Yeah, that's right. We were in there for about 2 hours as the Justice Department from the
Guys, I'll be back. I'm gonna warm up my food because I'm starving. So I'm gonna I'm gonna just shut off the camera for a minute as I walk away and go get some food, and then I'm gonna let this play. Okay, so again, let me show that I'm using this as content as a fair copyright, and let me just put my food in there, and let me go back. Sorry for keep sharing this, guys, but I have to make sure that that they know that I'm trying to be good.
the Southern District of New York laid out their case, very similar to what you saw in the indictment, saying why he should not be released because they say that he is a flight risk, he could leave the country, and also that he has a history of obstructing justice. They also pointed to how serious these crimes were, that with previous allegations of sex trafficking like R. Kelly and Jeffrey Epstein, the judges also denied bail in that case. But his defense laid out a very lengthy rebuttal to all of that. We heard them say that this is different from Jeffrey Epstein and R. Kelly because there are no minors being alleged in the indictment here. They also say that these acts were consensual, and they point to victim number one, who's named over and over again, who they say is someone within a 10-year relationship with Combs that was toxic but consensual. They said that this person actually tried to sell this same story as book rights to Combs to try to get it out of the media's eye, but instead when he refused, then this civil lawsuit came up. But the judge ultimately said that he could not be released because he is a danger, he has a history of substance abuse and anger issues, and she really drilled down on the fact that after those civil allegations came out last November, he talked to multiple women who he knew during that period and who he apparently tried to change their narrative so they wouldn't go forward and continue testifying or being witnesses to some of these acts that were alleged in the civil complaint and then were again put in the indictment today. And so she said in order to keep that from happening and really to end sex trafficking, since that can happen behind closed doors, it was best to keep him detained without bond.
Julia, it is, I think for a lot of folks, they will find this stunning considering that Diddy, right, Sean Combs, has been previously one of the most successful music superstars in the world. Just a year ago, he was handed a key to New York City. Now here we are, after months of this being out in the public, these allegations being made public, his denials, he's potentially facing 15 years to life in prison. What does the timeline look like here?
Well, we understand that tomorrow they'll try to appeal the judge's decision. His defense will do that tomorrow at 3:30. They'll meet again next week for a conference, and then perhaps we'll be looking at a trial early next year. But Hallie, I have to say what you said there was also striking. I mean, I watched him today sitting there very humbly in court in a black T-shirt, nodding along with his defense, otherwise just looking very stoic, straight ahead at the judge. It's hard to imagine this is the same man, but the timeline is also staggering. It's one thing to think, oh, that was something that happened a long time ago, but the prosecution today said that these acts, what they're calling sex trafficking and coercion, all continued up until this year, Hallie, and started as far back as 2009. So this was not a brief window.
All right, guys, I'm back. I just want to make sure. Let me check with YouTube that it didn't stop me. It didn't feel that I was doing too much by sharing all of that pieces. Okay. That's a lot, guys. That's a whole lot. I'm just checking with my checking and make sure that YouTube did not send me a message. Okay, they didn't. We all good. Okay, great. Let us continue. Lord have mercy. All right, here we go. Let's continue.
On Combs, it is just a crush of cameras, a crush of people.
It is. It's been really crowded today. And there have been people who've been driving by, sometimes screaming, "Free Diddy." Someone else stood up earlier and said Tupac would be ashamed of Diddy. It's been a lot of people, a lot of public interest here. I will say the court wasn't as crowded as I thought, but still nearly full, and also full of his friends and family who came out.
I told you. It already started. Free Diddy. Free Diddy. So it looked like I think Cassie is victim number one. I think that's who they're talking about when they talk about the victim. I think victim number one is Cassie. So I'm guessing, which I'm not sure, because I thought she had a statute of limitation that they couldn't go that far with her case. But they said that the person was in a 10-year relationship, was trying to write a book. So is there somebody else besides Cassie that it could be talking about? I'm curious. Hold on. Here's I think we heard this already, but let me listen. Hold on. This is what I'm looking at. Give me 1 second, guys. I think we heard this before, but I'm just hearing it again. Hold on.
Transportation for prostitution. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, conduct. Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice. The indictment alleges that Combs abused and exploited women and other people for years, and in a variety of ways. As alleged, Combs used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sexual performances with male commercial sex workers, some of whom he transported or caused to be transported over state lines. Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called free variety of narcotics, such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant. As alleged, when Combs didn't get his way, he was violent, and he subjected victims to threw objects at and dragged victims, at times by their hair. On one occasion in March of 2016, that conduct was captured on video and later reported in the media. Specifically, Combs kicked, dragged, and threw a vase at a victim in a Los Angeles hotel when the victim was attempting to flee. As alleged, these assaults often resulted in injuries to the victims, which took days or weeks to heal. He used the embarrassing and sensitive recordings he made of the freak-offs as collateral against the victims. And the indictment alleges that he maintained control support or housing, by promising them career opportunities, by monitoring their whereabouts, and even by dictating their physical appearance. Because of all of this, the indictment alleges that the victims did not believe they could refuse to violence undertaken by Combs and others, including violence against witnesses to his abuse, kidnapping, and arson. The indictment alleges that on more than one occasion, Combs carried or brandished firearms to intimidate and
There it is, guys. There it is. There it is. So, Puffy, P-Daddy, Puff Daddy, P-Diddy, P-D, Love, all that. He's in jail right now. They're not letting him go. Tomorrow, they said tomorrow he's going to go back. He's going to try to appeal the judge ruling that he can't get bail. And we'll see what happens. I have more to talk about when it comes to him. I want to go back and look at the videos, some more videos of what I did once Cassie report has been released. I want to talk about some of the people that I believe that may be impacted, because I don't believe that, but the indictment is a little contrary to me. So it really refers to the women and the sex acts, right? But then, are the men the one that you're saying are the prostitute in the indictment, or are you saying that he sent the women out to have sex with others? That's what I don't get yet. I don't get if other people are involved, but other people are involved with the cover up. I get that, but I wonder if other people are involved, or are they going to be seeking other people that was actually involved with this freak off? Because I think the freak off is just more than Diddy and just the women and the sex workers. I think other people was involved. Just by hearing other stories, I think there are other shoes that's going to drop. There's other celebrities that's probably going to be cut up in this. This is just my opinion, especially when they talk about associates. Because remember, they separate the supervisors, security, employees, household workers. They gave them separate titles, but yet they said associates. So that could be anybody from the record labels. That could be managers. That could be artists. That could be anybody, in my opinion, when you say associates, right? That is the word associates unknown, and the word associates that had me believing that it's a bigger investigation, and they're going to be going down that rabbit hole. That's just my opinion. Again, everybody, thank you. So I'm about to close now because I'm starving. Thank you so much for being part of this very long live. Please like, subscribe, and share. And again, if you would be so kind, and if you're interested in wanting Mama Flip, Grandma Flip, and I to go to the casino this weekend, please consider donating to Mama Flip slot on Zelle, on Venmo, or in Cash App. Thank you so much. So far we have not been monetized yet. Hopefully that would soon come. Fingers crossed. And we'll be able to start, getting some funds, because we're not looking to get rich. We're looking to actually go play casino slots. We love playing slots. That's our objective. That's what the channel is about. Every once in a while, I will do these lives because I'm interested in certain subject matter, especially predatory behavior. So I will do these live, but pretty much our channel is about slot playing. So if you would be so kind to donate, you can send any amount to Mama Flip for Grandma Flip, to our to Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, Mama Flip slot channel. We will play this weekend, and I think that if we win, we will donate or send some cash out to somebody. All right, so please donate. If not, please donate. But also, please like, subscribe, and share this video. Thank you. Take care. Good night. If I don't come back tonight, I'll probably come back tomorrow. But I may be going to the courthouse tomorrow. Yeah, I may be filming outside, going live outside the courthouse. I'll let you guys know. Okay, bye, guys. Bye. Oh, bye YouTube. Bye Instagram. Thank you everybody for joining Instagram. Thank you. I see all you guys here. Guys, that's Instagram. I called you out before. If you guys would be so kind and go to our YouTube channel and please subscribe. Like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. I would really appreciate that. Please like, subscribe on our YouTube channel. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, Instagram. Most of the time, I do not actually go live on Instagram. I normally just go live on YouTube. So if you like to continue to see stuff that's happening with me and Grandma Flip, please go to our YouTube channel. I'm only going to Instagram because this is such a big story and I wanted to get my opinion out there, but most of the time I only do YouTube. All right. Thank you, Instagram, everybody on Instagram. Please join our YouTube. Have a great day. And thank you, everybody on YouTube. You guys have a great night. I'm going to go watch the news and catch up on all this craziness. Okay. Bye, guys. Bye.